Hello and welcome to the Gangrene UK podcast. Now, this has been in the works for some time now, and we are finally sat down recording it. So I am very, very excited. My name is Adam. You may not have seen me as of yet, but I will be the host and co-host of the Gangrene UK podcast. Today I'm joined by someone that is a very familiar face. Do I introduce you as Ant, or do I introduce you as International Fan of the Year? And do you want the whole
it's not
title
gone to my
now?
head yet. It's not gone to my head yet, I'll be honest. No, it's always going to be Ant, unfortunately. The accolade is a stunning, amazing thing. But it was Ant Gangrene UK before it was that. So, yeah, it's just Gangrene UK seems to be a breeding ground to produce International Fans of the Year, with obviously Fraser being the inaugural, and now myself. And yeah, we're creating a community. So none of us are bigger than that community. But it's nice to see that the acknowledgement that the community is growing. It's amazing, mate. And it's great to be able to be on talking about just the Jets again in general.
It's amazing, right? The International Fan of the Year as a concept is great. Seeing you guys announce draft picks and all that cool stuff, it's really cool. It's a show of what the UK NFL scene has become, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the Gangrene UK for achieving these things. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, me and Fraser joked about it that when it all came about, when we joined with Otis and Kane, this wasn't even in our wildest dreams. We just wanted to make a community where people could kind of interact and not be on their own and voice their frustrations without any prejudice. And to know where it's came to now, and yesterday seeing the Jets invest into the flag football, and now that's going international. It's amazing. It genuinely, that's the pride that I'm getting from getting acknowledgement from the team, but seeing what that team are doing off the field is amazing.
It's nice to see that the team wants to do this as well. They want to invest in their international market. They want to invest in the UK. We've had the London Games quite a lot recently. Obviously, Woody Johnson's background being someone that was an ambassador to the UK. So it's nice to see that the Jets as a organisation do look at the UK and do talk about us, do get us involved with stuff, because we're quite, we're not that far away from New York, but it feels a long way away, especially when you're watching it 1 o'clock in the morning when we were on prime time when we had Aaron. So it's pretty cool. All of it's pretty cool. Now look, we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got post-combine chat, because the combine finished a couple of days ago as we're recording. This one I've not put in the script, but just as a little extra bit of what we're talking about today. How did you enjoy the combine this year? Because I think it was one of my favourite combines I've probably ever watched.
I can fully agree with you. However, I'm going to be honest with you. I fell down a rabbit hole during the combine from watching some of the drills, and somebody sent me a question, and I've ended up writing a book. I've wrote a whole book this weekend. I'm now on to volume 2 of the book. Volume 3 will be end of the week. And it was because of the combine. I found myself really, really passionate about the combine and understanding some of the choices and the way players view themselves against how coaches view them. So it's one of those where I feel like this combine, I was always passionate about it anyway, but it ignited something this time. I'm still frustrated that half of them don't do the workouts, which I just think is ridiculous. Just stop coming. Let somebody else, even from a tier 3 school come, because they're fighting for their lives. Fernando Mendoza didn't need to go. He didn't need to take interviews with anybody else. The Raiders have already said that they're taking it. So you've just wasted the space. We know he's number 1 pick. Let somebody else come.
Yeah. It will never not annoy me that people, but it's that, but it's also the guys that go, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not going to run the 40 though, because that might hurt my draft stock. So I'm just going to do the drills, and it's but just go and do all of it. Look at someone like Sonny Styles as an example. Someone that probably was in the 10 to 15 range for most people, and there's now Jets fans talking about taking him at 2. because his combine was that good. It was historically good as a
I mean,
combine.
he's a freak.
He is an absolute animal.
What I loved about that is then his little brother comes along and puts up ridiculous numbers as well. It's like there's some heavy breeding in that family to get like super freaks.
Yeah, it feels very incredible, doesn't it? Like, there's something
like,
going on.
They've got a little brother that can go invisible. I'm like, I'm done.
No, it's great. Look, a bit from my background, obviously, I watch, as you know, watch hundreds of hours of college football every year. I watch the tape. The combine is like my culmination of watching all of that stuff. So it's always great. Now, we've both done a mock draft. Now, I will let you do the caveat for yours, and you can go first, right? So, the guy you've taken it to might not go at 2 now.
Oh no, he's definitely not going at 2. And I did it in a rush without really kind of taking into account everything that I'd read and seen, because I've been traveling for 2 days. I was with the Jets all day yesterday. Over the weekend, I had like 2 hours spare because I was writing a book. So yeah, there was a few things that I missed. So yeah, my opening draft was it was Caleb Downs. I'm not afraid to tell everybody that. I think on paper he's the best player in this draft as a football player. I think he brings something to the Jets that we could really do with. But obviously this knee injury, it scares me a little bit. The one thing about Downs that I do like is the fact that he's kind of like that Jamie Sherwood kind of prototype of can play a nickel, can move inside, he can flood the box. And I was like, you know what? I did a couple, and the players that I wanted to get later weren't there. So this was the way for me to get what I needed without sacrificing too much later on.
And you got to remember when we do these mock drafts, the people you exactly want to take might not be there, right? That's the nature of doing this. So I get it, right? So look, Caleb Downs is the best player in the draft for me. He's number 1 on my big board. I genuinely think he goes into the league as a top 5 safety already. I think he's that good. So yeah. I get it. It's just best player available. I think in this draft, when there's not a quarterback available, I understand the going best player available, which with Caleb Downs you do get. And the knee thing is a big concern, right? Because it's the same thing that means Jordan Tyson's not going in the top 10 for a lot of mocks because of the injury history. It does matter and it is important. But if the Jets walked up there and took Caleb Downs next, it isn't. Oh my God, it is next month now. It's March now, so it's next month.
It's like 40-something days.
Yeah, if the Jets go and take Caleb Downs at 2 next month, I'm not going to sit there and be like fuming about it. I'd be fine with it. If they go up there and take Ty Simpson at 2, I think we've all got issues. But I could deal with Caleb Downs at 2. He's a great player.
If that happens, you're going to see me cry live on TV. There will be tears. I will be that guy. I'll be like sat there just crying. I'll cross my legs on the stage and we'll leave.
They're going to pan to you for you're going to do the pick and then you just be like, "What are you doing? My round pick now. Jets took Ty Simpson at 2. I don't care now."
yeah. The season's done. What we're picking next year? No, I don't think it'll be that bad. But then, like I say, in positions that I wanted. So there's a couple of reaches. Do you want me to move on to my next pick?
Let's go through yours in full, then we'll go through mine in full, and we can talk about it.
So I went
next
for
pick at 16.
Ansel Delane at 16 from LSU. I think I'm a big LSU guy. I don't just have the one team. I have a couple that I like to follow. One of them that I've got close affinity is my next pick after this. But why we had Sauce, it didn't make sense because he's a boundary CB1 match corner who essentially will affect any team. But if you've already got a match 1 corner, you don't need one. But then the minute Sauce goes, I'm like, the lane's on the table. We're getting an absolute stud who's played in a power team, in a power conference, but has also paid for a team that struggled because LSU last year were terrible for various different reasons. And I like players that have had a bit of adversity. So that was just an easy pick for me, I'll be honest. The
I
next
think
one.
Mansfield Delaney. I think Mansfield Delaney, just to touch on it, I think
Sorry,
he's
go for it.
fantastic. He's got elite coverage skills. I'm reading this stat here because I wanted to get this in front of me to make sure this was right. He didn't allow a touchdown in 2025, and he surrendered 2 receptions of 20 yards plus into the entire season. That is pretty freakish. I think again he's so versatile. He's so good at everything that being a corner produces. He's got really good ball production as well. He's got 8 career interceptions, 27 pass deflections in college. He really is an everything corner. He's CB1 by some margin for me.
Yeah, and I think he really fits the style that Aaron Glenn and Ducker like. Like Ducker's a big kind of defensive backs doing more than what they need to, and I think Delaney he fits that. Like I say, there was a little bit of voting with my heart there because of LSU. I've seen him play live in Death Valley in 42 degree, 3rd degree burns on my legs. So yeah, I'm all about that pick. I don't think he'll be there on the draft. I think he'll go top 10. But that led me on to 33, where taking a safety and a cornerback in those 2 premium picks meant that I missed out on the wide receivers that I wanted. But Denzel Boston was there. I'm not against taking him. I have him as my wide receiver 4. He's pretty solid for the quarterback, and I think that's going to be important for us. He's an ex-guy. There's zero risk in him, I think. I think he's just a player that Frank Reich would give some really definitive routes to that he can run. And that's what we'll play him. And then we've got Garrett Wilson moving around between the Z, the F, and the X.
I like him a lot. Obviously, I'm a Ducks fan, so getting a Washington Huskies player is a bit like, but putting that aside, all right, he's fantastic. He's 6'4". It gives you a completely different type of wide receiver to Garrett as well, and I like that. He's a real X factor wide receiver. I think for him as well, like what I like about his game is that he's just so. I like the yards of the yak ability. He's an angry, aggressive runner when he's got the ball in his hands, and I think he translates well to the NFL. I think when you've got college players, you want them to come in and just have an impact straight away, they have to translate well to the NFL, and I do think he will. He is also my wide receiver 4. I really like Chris Brazzell from Tennessee, so I'm kind of like toyed between him being wide receiver 4, but I think Boston's just about there for me. It's a really strong wide receiver class, and if you don't take one at 2 or 16, they're going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I have took a few times in mock so far is Kevin Concepcion. I think he's a great player. I don't think my idea is, so a lot of people who've seen pods will know I don't rate Garrett as the number 1. I have him as the number 2, and that's not a bad thing. And I just want us to have 3 number 2s and just be legit. Like, I don't need you don't have to be elite at everything. Just do it all really well, and we'll do fine. I sent it over to you today. I was like, this is a huge reach, and now I'm all about this change to a 3-4. And Corleone, I have him as D-line 7, but my reason for taking him, he's probably one of 2 true nose tackles within this class. He is an absolute double team magnet. He's everything I want in that mean, scary defensive tackle. He plays 1 tech, 0 tech, and 3 tech. So no doubt he can do 2 tech too. So I'm like super happy if we take him. I don't even mind reaching for him.
There's nothing wrong with reaching for a player if they fit your scheme and you think they're going to contribute, and that's absolutely fine. My question to you, just as an interest one, was Lee Hunter there when you picked that last one?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I went in knowing I wanted Leon, so I stretched down, but he may have been there. He might have been like the only other one left on the board at that point, I'll be honest.
Fair enough. Do you know, it's a huge reach. I don't dislike the player. I think at 44 that's massive.
I've got him ranked in like 120, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Every other draft I've done at 120, so it's that Malachi Moore thing again.
No matter what, right?
I don't believe in trades.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm like, guys, I really like him. So if the reach is too big,
he for me would be a trade back into the third round type of pick. But like I say, I don't think there's anything wrong inherently with taking one of your guys just because you're taking one of your guys, because I've done that in my mock draft at 44. So we'll get into it. So second overall, I went for David Bailey. Look, for me, you can go on Reese, right, and you can take the projection of potential elite talent, or you could go for someone that I believe is already producing at an elite level, someone that I believe that will come in and be a very good edge rusher in the league. You're in a division with Josh Allen and Drake May. You need to get to the quarterback, right? You're in the AFC. You need to get to the quarterback. For me, David Bailey gives you that. His athletic profile is incredible. He's an absolute physical monster at the line. He's fast. You saw look, the combine this week, you saw he's fast, right? He is an absolute game wrecker. I really, really think he can do a lot of anything. His speed as an edge rusher is really rare as well. You don't see that level of speed very often from that position. I also kind of think that he's got the ability to with the forced fumbles as well. It's not just the hit; it's the forced fumbles. He's aggressive. I think my concern on him, I think there's always concerns on players. His frame at Stanford maxed out at like 250 pounds, right? And I'm not sure that he goes above that. And it's something that NFL Draft Boards have pointed out as well. Going through like your power schemes defensively in the NFL, I think it's something that he may struggle with. But you can't take away from the fact that the Texas Tech defense was amazing. I've taken 2 players off it in the first 4 picks, so I'm fairly confident in it. 14.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 52 tackles from that edge position. I just think that for me, there's not a better prospect there. I like Arvell Reese, I do, but I'm taking the guy now that I think is already the guy, rather than taking someone that I think is great. And Arvell Reese is great, and this is not me saying that he's not, but David Bailey's an edge. Arvell Reese is a linebacker. He says he can play edge. When there's a player like that, it's not someone that I would take it to. And it might seem harsh, but that's kind of where I'm at on it.
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was looking at it earlier, and I kind of figured that somebody was going to take Bailey, which is why I didn't. I went in another direction. But I think Bailey, his floor is so high that it is almost a slam dunk. If the team decide that we need another edge rusher because we're going in that direction, we don't bring somebody in, I can 100% get behind Bailey. It's the same thing as like what you said with Downs. If we make that pick, I'm not upset. 100% not that upset. So yeah, I'm quite happy, and everything you said is that's exactly it. Like Bailey is a great pick at 2.
And the thing is a lot of people say it's a reach. I think mainly because for some reason David Bailey doesn't come across flashy as a pick.
Like he's got a boring name.
He has got a boring name. I have to get that. It's not going to put me off though. I think I'm gonna stick with him, right? And the combine was great. Now my pick at 16 won't be there. He won't be there. I'm not saying he will be, but he was there when I picked this draft. So that's all I'm going to say. Cornell Tate. Now I do think Cornell Tate falls from the combine. Hitting the 4.5 4.40. That's really hard to say. It was disappointing for him, but he is faster than that. Right, Daniel Jeremiah said on comms he is faster than that. He it's hard when you don't show it right there. And I reckon he runs a sub 4.5 at his pro day, and all of these concerns are alleviated. At the minute, there's a potential that some teams now don't see him as wide receiver 1. I want to point out that neither do I. He's my wide receiver 2. I think Mackay Lemon's my wide receiver 1, just for Mackay Lemon's elite hands and his elite slot ability. But he's also probably tanked his draft stock a little bit.
Attitude.
This is the thing, right? The wide receivers have not really done themselves any favors at the.
Oh no! I mean, it's like the wide receiver class this year could all go to the Raiders and all be arrested in the first year. It's like you wouldn't want to put your faith in any of them right now.
It is tricky. Cornell Tate for me though, he's got elite downfield ability. Like his hands are great. He had a drop rate of 5.4% in like last season. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Like it's someone that you're going to put the ball up there, he's going to bring it down, he's going to catch it. He's what I love about him most is that no matter what speed he's running at or wherever the ball's coming from, he's got this inbuilt GPS to where that ball is. And it's something you cannot teach in a wide receiver. And do you know what? I get the argument that Jeremiah Smith took his thunder, right? Because of course he did, right? He's one of the most generational prospects you're ever going to see. But it doesn't mean that Cornell Tate isn't a fantastic receiver. And if you put him in a room with Garrett Wilson, one, they already know each other. They spoke about that. They talk. They're friends. You know,
they'll help each other out. All that type of stuff. Yeah,
that's something. And also, if you get a wide receiver from Ohio State, right, are they probably not going to be really good? I mean, like, isn't this kind of just like wide receiver?
They have kind of got a reputation over there, like so. Yeah, I'm okay with that pick, mate.
Like I understand the 40 time concerns people, right? I understand that like there's all of these negatives about his 40 time and all that sort of stuff. Just calm down, right? The combine's important, it is, right? But it's not everything, right? He's still going to do a pro day. He's still going to make himself look great. He's still a top 10 pick probably.
Combine run anyway.
He is. So, he tripped on the first. Like you saw, he stumbled a little bit on the first run.
Yeah, for me, that would be a weak argument.
When you've got someone that will run,
I'm good with him. I like.
When you've got someone that's physical and will run straight into traffic and doesn't care who you are and will torch any corner, has the ability to torch cornerbacks in the league from Ohio State that doesn't drop the ball, don't overthink this. If he's there at 16, you sprint to the podium. For me,
I'll make sure I will get the ticket now.
Yeah, you take it off. Whoever's you run up there. You take that.
I promise you, if you're still on the board, I will run out this for you, mate.
Yeah, you do that. That would be great.
Small Geordie guy arrested at draft.
No, we didn't pick Cornell Tate. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's what I said. Right, moving on to Lee Hunter. We've already talked about him.
Yeah,
Lee Hunt is the darling of the draft, of the combine, right? Everyone loves him now. It's not just the combine though. He's an elite run defender, which I think we need. I think he fits in a 3-4 because I do. He's a big, powerful guy. He bursts. His speed is great for his size. He's the sort of guy that even if he's not getting sacks, will push the pocket and will collapse it for a quarterback. He will make it difficult for them. And he's a really good tackler. He's a really high-level tackler. 2.5 sacks in this year that's the thing that people use against Lee Hunter. He's got 2.5 sacks. He's a D tackle. We don't need to look at sacks as the stats for D tackles.
Yeah, my only thing with him is his gap control could be better, but it's not bad. It could just be better. So putting him in with a great defensive room, especially with an awesome defensive line coach, like he's gonna be fine. Like I can't argue against it. It was like I say, when I went for my DT, I went for my guy because that's the one that I kind of had my eye on. But I also tried to stay away from people that did really well at the combine.
I get that. I mean, he doesn't. One thing I don't like about him is that he has literally zero bend. But I think most college D tackles have zero bend. Right? It's not that uncommon.
No. They don't really need to bend much, do they? When they're just forces to be moved. So yeah. I can't argue against that pick, mate.
And do you know what? I understand the criticism that, oh, he's just a bull rush merchant. Do you know when you're that big, you can be a bull rush merchant? That's fine. I don't mind that at all. Like, I'm not going to like slate him too much for that.
Yeah, and when you look at his game, he's not shy to do that. Where we've had players that are big before that might as well have been made of chocolate in front of the fire. I mean, Michael Clemens wanted to say that. He's good at holding the edge, but he couldn't set it to save his life.
This is the thing, right? Size needs to be used, right? Because the amount of times you watch the combine or whatever, and they go, "Oh, but he's so big, he's the size." If you have to use the size effectively, because if you don't, that's when you become just a big nothing in the NFL. So, but look, my pick 44 was my guy. He's my second favorite player in the draft, behind Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, who wasn't available when I wanted to pick him because I didn't want to pick him at 16. He wasn't available at 33. He's kind of in that sort of difficult zone of where does he go. But Chris Johnson, look, Chris Johnson, San Diego State cornerback. He is amazing. He is my cornerback 3 in this draft, which a lot of people are going to say, how is he? It's Mansour Delane, Avian Terrell, Chris Johnson. Jamal McCoy might be better, but Chris Johnson's just got everything that I look for in a cornerback, and I just love him. So, you know, his combine was great. This is pre-combine thoughts. He does have 4.4 speed, so he's very quick. His zone coverage is fantastic. He got 4 interceptions this past year in their college football. He's a real ball hawk. He will try and pick the ball away. He attacks the ball, which is something that, from a team that is historically bad at interceptions from the last year, is very much needed. He can play as a boundary corner. He can play as a box in the box. He kind of is everything that I enjoy watching in a corner. Right? I'm bordering on like he could be my favorite player in the draft, but I'm sort of like still. McNeil-Warren's just too much for me. The only issue that I've got with Chris Johnson is that he's quite small. Right, he's only 6 foot. He's got quite a slight frame. But you know, when you're that fast and you can stick with a receiver, you can attack the ball, and you're versatile, I don't think it really matters if you're that short. Really?
Yeah. So I have him as a rotational QB3.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he needs a year in the NFL to adjust what he's got to the game. I don't think he will have the easiest transition from college through. But equally, I have him as a strong fit with the Jets and what we want to do because, like you said, he's a bit of a ball hawk. He's got that speed. He can get the step. But he's got good football knowledge. Aaron Glenn likes smart corners, which is one of the reasons that I think we traded Sauce. I don't think his head was always in the game. So again, it's another pick that I have him a little bit higher down. I have him as my my cornerback 6. But that's only because I think sometimes he gives his routes away with his eyes, and there's a little bit of like his ability to be in the game is limited because of, like you say, his height and his speed don't always match to every situation. So I've got him as a situational QB cornerback 3 with second year cornerback 2 possibilities. That is my but I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of San Jose State or San Diego State or any of the San States. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm Big Ten, SEC, ACC, and I'll do a bit of 12 if I have to.
He played in the Mountain West, right? Let's have it right. Statistically, yeah, the 4 interceptions look impressive, but playing in the Mountain West is a huge step up playing in the NFL. So he probably is cornerback 3 for the Jets. I do think that AZ Thomas takes a big leap this year. I think we probably still sign a free agent cornerback, maybe a vet. But obviously Brownlee, again, is probably more of your sort of slot corner. I do think the Jets do have a notable position that you could actually recruit someone to be your cornerback 1 or 2 this year. It's been underdrafted
I'll
by
be honest
Jets
with
mock
you.
drafts.
I have Brownlee getting cut. I don't think he
Really?
fits Aaron Glenn as Aaron Glenn calling plays. I think he's a bit of a liability. I think his hands aren't good enough. There's a few things with Brownlee. I like the guy as a player. Last year, I like his effort that he puts in. I just don't know if he suits Aaron Glenn.
I think if he's not a CB1, CB2, he's probably playing as your slot corner, right? I think that's probably where he's going to be. It's difficult, isn't it? But whenever I see Jets mock drafts, I don't see anyone mocking cornerbacks in the first 4 picks, and I don't know why, because I do think it's a massive position of need.
Yeah, I think they're being a bit deluded with Quantez Stiggers. I'll be honest with you.
I love Quantez Stiggers, don't get me wrong, but he's not a
but
cornerback
he's
in the NFL.
He's a 3rd-year starter, if anything. Like, he's not. I wouldn't like to hang my season on him, if you know what I mean.
No, and AZ Thomas still has to take a big leap, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's, we're all saying, oh, he's going to be cornerback 1 this year and stuff. I really like the guy, and I think he can be a cornerback 1, but I think it's a big ask this year. 2020 to oh yeah, you're cornerback 1 now. It's a huge ask for me. So
yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I think cornerback in the draft, maybe free agency, but we're going to talk about free agency because each of us has selected a free agent signing that we want the Jets to bring in to target. Now, I'll go first on this one because you went first on the mock draft. You said that I won't guess yours.
No, it's either you're not going to guess it or we're going to guess the same. So this is completely. Yeah, go for it.
I hope we haven't had the same because that would be.
Well, mine's on the screen right now, so I've got it here on the other side of this phone. So I'm not going to touch the screen. But if you pick the same, I'll show you it.
I've gone for Dallas Goedert because
okay. I've not gone for the same.
Okay, so I went for Dallas Goedert because I love Mason Taylor. I've got a Mason Taylor jersey. It's nothing to do with him, but I do think we need a veteran tight end that can be a reliable pass catcher. I think last year, one thing we struggled with when Garrett went down was that we had a lot of ifs. AD Mitchell, I love him, he's an if. John Mechie is an if. Mason Taylor got injured at the end of the season, but also for the most of the season was an if, right? Dallas Goedert's not an if. He is someone that you can rely on. You target him. He had an amazing. I know he's coming off probably one of the best years of his career, and that's probably because Jalen Hurts always looked to him. But I think he's a safe pair of hands as a tight end. There's lots of positions of need that we need, and I don't think that people would say tight end is a position of need for the Jets. But I don't know why, personally. I understand that Mason Taylor everybody likes Mason Taylor. He's great. I love Mason Taylor. It's not him, but at the same time, you can always improve positions. Dallas Goedert had 11 touchdowns last year, right? Nearly 600 yards receiving. That is a reliable person. I know he's 31, but even for, a 2-year contract maybe, just until Mason Taylor becomes or blossoms into this tight end we want him to be, I think Dallas Goedert's a great choice. And you can't have too many people that are good at catching the ball. And he's also a good blocker, right? But Dallas Goedert, that's my guy. That's where I'm going with this.
I mean, I can't argue. Obviously, we've got Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert, Stone Smart, and Jelani Woods. Sorry, they're both free agents. So I could see them bringing in a tight end. I wouldn't be angry with Goddard, but it wouldn't be my choice, just because I like what we've got and maybe bring in a late round draft pick and give them the playing time.
Yeah.
But I went in a different direction. If we're moving on to that one, I mean, I can't argue against you because you've given a good point. So I've gone defense.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone for somebody that I think instantly makes us better. The player is 25 years old.
Okay.
So I'm talking a young guy. It pains me to say because he went to Georgia, and it's Nakobe Dean.
Okay.
Right now, obviously, a little bit of an injury last year and injury in 2023. But last year, he only played 38% of their snaps, which is like 400 odd, and got 4 sacks. the year before, he did 75% of the snaps and got 3. They switched into a more of a defensive system to what we're going to be playing this year, this 3-4 hybrid system. Nakobe Dean, for me, fits in and helps Jamien Sherwood develop into the role. If we keep Jamien Sherwood, I think he's going to get traded, I'll be honest. And then we bring in an older player. And like there's rumours Demario Davis is coming for a year. You bring Demario Davis to coach Nakobe Dean or Jamien Sherwood or both of them, our linebackers are set for 10 years.
Yeah.
I just think I loved him coming out. I know Fraser loved him coming out. I think every admin, it's the only time we've ever agreed that Nakobe Dean was ideal for us, and we didn't even look his way. I mean, he was a 3rd-round pick in 2022. So, yeah, I just like that. But equally, it was a bit biased because, obviously, I didn't want to pick a linebacker in my mock draft, so I chose a linebacker in free agency to justify myself.
Yeah. I like it. Like, obviously, 4 sacks this last year, 2 forced fumbles as well. Like, I really like the player. I have no issue here. I mean, we're not talking obviously realisms. I think Nakobe Dean probably goes to someone that isn't the Jets. He's linked with the Cowboys at the minute, which would be quite the slap in the face to the Eagles fans. But no, I mean, you're getting yourself a player that would fit into the Jet system really well. I agree that you want to lock down those linebacker positions. If we don't take Arvell Reese, especially, he's someone that you definitely look in the direction of. I think you definitely went with more of a need than I did. I think I went with like more of a luxury pick, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a good point. Like, fill the little gaps in free agency that aren't going to be too expensive, and then go big in the draft and grow. I think that's what we need to look at. So, yeah, I mean, I think we did well there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got a lot of cap space, the Jets, as well. So, I mean, we could sign both. We're just becoming the New York Eagles by just signing all the Eagles players, but that's fine. They're a successful team. We can do that. And I think, like, we've both picked players that, I mean, look, I think Dallas Goedert gets a decent amount of money, but he's not projected to get a stupid amount of money. So you're picking players that might be on small contract. Nakobe Dean probably gets what, like
about 8 or 9, I reckon.
Yeah, about 8.
Might be able to get him at 7.5 if you position it properly.
I think the 8-9 mil a year, you just do it, don't you? Like, for sure. Like, I think
we've paid more for less.
We've paid a lot more for less. Hassan Reddick's a free agent. Do you not want to pick him, or?
I mean, let's go for it. I saw an interview with Christian Hackenberg today, and I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what he's doing with himself."
Does he want to come on the pod?
Yeah. I'll drop him a message, see what's happening.
Yeah. Cool. Well, look, that is all we've got time for today. We've done a good 38 minutes. I've really enjoyed myself. And look, this is the sort of content we want to bring you. Nice, big, informative podcast episodes talking about things that I think we're pretty good experts in, right? The draft, the NFL.
We've spoken about it for a while, so I think we're doing well. Like, we're not pure experts, but we're on our way.
We're getting there. You'll join us now, and then by the end of the season, you'll be like these guys. I don't even watch Daniel Jeremiah anymore. I don't even watch like Matthew Berry stuff. Just these guys, right?
He knows to come on the pod.
Yeah. These. Oh, look, we've had some good time. Right? I think when we look at these prospects and stuff, we'll maybe do like a video where we come back to this and look at our mock drafts like halfway through the season. Let's see how the players have got on in their first year. Obviously, they probably won't all be Jets, so let's do that. But that's all we've got time for today. And is there anything you want to shout out before we go?
I know. Just shout out to everybody who's going to be in London tonight for the Q&A with McCreary Ball and the Jets. And we'll have a great time.
Sounds good. Sounds like a great event. Now, we will see you next time. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy everything that's coming forward. And we'll catch you in a bit.
Have a good one.